Hello and welcome to the Formula One Monaco Grand Prix. Now I'm not going to pick my McLaren, I'm going to start with a new Ferrari and take a look at this list of cars. You can compare all the stats. That's from the Real Racing 3 Fandom Wiki. And of course, I have to choose Charles Leclerc because he's from Monaco. So, that's going to make some sense later. You might want to go back and pause if you want to take a longer look at those stats. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but I just wanted to get that out there right off the start. Now, there is instant servicing and instant R&D available, but you're not going to see it, so restart the game. And there it is. Because look, I've got 5 million M dollars, and if I do a race, I'm not going to get paid. So I'm going to do some upgrades right at the start here, and I'm going to add all this up and show it to you at the end of the race. I'm going to show you what I spent, show you everything I earn for every single race. Well, I'll compile it. Alright, so I do not know this track. I've done a little bit of tests, but not very much, and you're going to see. It'll be interesting for you to see how I do this journey, because I don't race with assists. So this thing's not braking for me. I've got to decide when to brake. I have brake assist off, steering assist off, traction control off, tilt B controls, and I'm running sensitivity too. So you can see my driving is atrocious right now because I don't know this track very well. I don't know where I should be braking. I don't know how deep I should be braking, when I can get back to the gas. So you're going to get to see how I learn a track. I'm not going to be doing stages again and again. I did certainly restart it a little bit here and there, but I'm not going to show you all my failed attempts because, well, you get really sick of that really quickly. Now this is a longer race. It looks like it's 2 laps, but we're still on lap 0. So let me explain this. Why am I choosing the Ferrari? Okay, this event is required PR. So that means that at certain points we have to do upgrades if we want to keep on racing. You don't have a choice. Now there's other events that are recommended PR. And for instance, Red Bull Ring, that's going to happen in update 8.8, that's this current update, that's a recommended PR event. So, ooh, that's nasty. So you only have to buy upgrades for that one if you need them. Well, that's what I'm going to save the Mercedes for. So, one thing you need to realize is that there's basically 10 cars, and there are 9 Grand Prix events. So you can win a total of 9 cars, and I will. So really, my choice is, what do I not want for a car? Which car do I not want? Oh, that's horrible too. So that's what I was looking at, and this is kind of a middle-of-the-road car. So I'm going to choose cars that I just are the middle-of-the-road cars for these required PR events, and then the recommended PR events, that's where I'm going to use the better cars. So the Mercedes, I'm going to use the Mercedes for one. And then if there's another required PR event in another update, I will use the Red Bull car for that one. And in between, I'll be using some of the other cars. Now, there's another interesting thing to think about, and that is you can only get enough principal XP from M tuning to maximize 4 principals. So I'm already deciding which 4 cars do I want to maximize. And definitely my Mercedes. I'm going to finish maximizing that one. Sorry, my McLaren. I don't own the Mercedes. Definitely my McLaren. Definitely the Mercedes. I'm going to do that one. And the Red Bull. And probably this Ferrari. This isn't one of the greatest cars in 2020, but I really like my 2019 Ferrari. I've done a lot of M dollar earning with that car. So I'll probably also maximize this one because it's pretty good as far as the middle of the road cars go in the once you get rid of those top 3. So that's something to consider for your long-term strategy, that there's only enough M tuning currently to maximize 4 principals. And maybe that'll change in the future, but for now, I've got to make a plan with what I can see now. Okay, so that takes you as to why I'm choosing this Ferrari. That's the end of this race. Longer race, somewhat embarrassing for me. But like I said, I'm going to show you everything. Keep adding up these earnings. You can see I already had run some races. And there we go. So this one we have to hit speed 3 times. And yeah, I've got a little bit more tuning off the start, but I'm not going to add anything more until I have to. And I kind of want to blast through this because of the instant R&D. So we'll see how that goes. Not sure if I can hit speed here. Yep, hit speed there. Now this chicane, I really do not know what I'm doing yet at this chicane. I keep on thinking it's going to be like a bus stop, if you know what I mean by that. Like this up here, this is like, I would consider this to be a bus stop style. Like at Porsche short track and long track versions, you have a bus stop section. Also Daytona Road Course, that has a bus stop. And so in my head, I keep thinking that that's going to be a bus stop, but it's not. Oh well, I'm going to adjust to it. Just got to take my time, but part of figuring out braking points is making mistakes just like you're seeing. So some people watch stuff like this and they say to me, oh, you should turn on traction control because you won't slide so much. It's going to make me slower. Assists will make me slower. I mean, maybe not slower than me right now, but in the long run, they definitely make you way slower. Like traction control, when it comes on, it stays on too long. And that's the problem. It really hurts your speed. I'm generally faster by just skidding a little bit and recovering on my own. And that's what you'll see with a lot of people if you watch some time trial videos. Sometimes guys are actually skidding a little bit in some really good time trial runs, but that's still faster than if they had traction control on. So I'm gonna have already met all my speed requirements. I'll have one more lap after this. I notice this is a nice overtaking spot. Ooh boy. Gotta watch out. Oh, and I'm still not used to that braking point. I mean, this is quite embarrassing, honestly, but I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time trying to get perfect and then make videos. I'd rather you guys see what I'm doing. By the way, I realized that I didn't have on the names. So there you go. There's the names. Oh, I blew it again. Sometimes when I'm doing the weekly time trial videos and I'm racing my own Ghost, I really get sick of the name dancing around. It can be distracting for me. So sometimes I turn off the names. There's all sorts of settings like that. Like you'll notice I don't have their avatars on. I don't want all that distraction on my screen. So I do this. Sometimes I even turn off the map, but here, right now, I need this map. I'm learning this circuit, and obviously you can see that. Like that's kind of embarrassing too. Thankfully, the bots are pretty bad still. So that's good. It's good to have bad bots on day one. Ooh boy. So I got to be steering a lot sharper there. And then this is probably a high-speed corner once I get that braking point more dialed in. Ooh boy, oh, nicking so many walls. Okay, well I'm going to be happy to see, oh, that was really close, wasn't it? Maybe I'm starting to learn. You'll see. You'll get to see how I progress. I hope you're progressing well in this as well. All right, speed through these screens. And then a little freeze frame at the end. And again, I'm going to be adding all of this up so you can see it, and I'll do that at the end of stage 5. Now, this type of a thing, in the past, I would work my way up to a bot further, but I don't want to redo this a bunch. I'm just going to get my following in on the first bot I find, and then I'll try moving ahead. Some of you guys who've seen my prior videos are probably saying, why aren't you doing bot slowing? I'm not doing this because it's a required PR event. They're usually easier. So I'm actually going to be blasting through this as good as I can. Oh boy, that was bad. Oh, that's right, I got to stay behind him. That's why I'm doing all this silly tapping of him. I'm going to be pushing it pretty hard actually, and just see if things get pretty hard. And I can always deal with that if they do. All right, now I have another lap left, and I can cut the first corner a little bit. Oh, I didn't mean to hit him. Man, did he ever brake early? That's surprising. This section here is kind of fun. Monaco is extremely small. 2 square kilometers, or 0.75 square miles. So, in that context, this is actually a pretty big track. I mean, I know it's a small track, but when you look at how small Monaco is, this is pretty decent size. Already starting to feel like I have the hang of it a bit, like I'm starting to know what comes next. I'm just not quite sure how to handle it. Let's get around this guy. That was nice. He gave that up nicely. Oh, that was better through that corner. Oh, and I'm still nicking that wall. Oh well, we'll dial that in yet. Well, I'll dial it in. I'm sure you're working on it. I know some of you guys have raced this track in other games. I have not. I've never raced on this track. So this is all new to me. And I've noticed even when I'm watching live racing that sometimes it's hard to get the flow of a track because they keep showing you all sorts of different camera angles, not necessarily following a lap. So that's why that video I had put up there can help people to get a sense of the laps. All right. Let's blast through this one. I like average speed races. Oh, that's just wonderful. Yes, let's just stay on that wall for a while. And, oh man. Oh, these partial laps? These bots drive so stupid. They drive right in the middle of the track. They won't drive that way on any other lap. But in the partial laps, they drive stupid. They hog the middle of the track. And maybe there's something I don't know about, but it's not saying that I can't overtake in the partial lap. So that's really, it can be fun to pass bots on these partial laps because they're just driving so bad. Now this, I'm hoping to get maybe an inside pass. There we go. Hey, that was an actual clean pass, and then I nick a wall. It's a lot to get used to. Like this is and my goodness, do you ever need a lot of acrobatics if you on some of these corners? Like I'm running sensitivity on 2, and on that Grand Hotel, that really tight hairpin there, my goodness, am I ever twisting my device like mad. So yeah, this is going to be a physically tiring circuit. I feel sorry for guys racing with iPads. I mean, you can see more, but that's more of a device to have to flip all over the place. Well, even with all of this horrible contact, not much of a problem to keep the average speed going. I'm starting to find out that this last overhead banner, this one here, is my breaking point. That's what I'm starting to realize. The rest of this, I know coming into this sharper corner, it's not that sharp. I know I got to brake a little bit at the beginning, then I can power through. Then I want to brake earlier than that. And then here we are at the really, I mean, this hairpin, it's more than 180 degrees. So, boy, it's the iconic Monaco hairpin. All right, in the tunnel, come on, guys, let's overtake some guys in the tunnel. Awesome. Oh boy, I didn't mean to get all that contact going. And oh, that's not a good place to try to thread the needle. Well, good thing they're not failing me for damage, because boy, am I ever getting in a, oh boy, I'm getting in a mess here. It just feels like I don't know how to drive. Oh boy. Anyway, you can see, this is how I figure out the braking points, make a lot of mistakes, and just keep going and keep learning. And that's it. Just keep learning, keep learning. Oh my. Okay. Well, isn't that interesting? That's the best I could do. If I knew the track better, I would have finished higher, but that's what I could do. Based on the update, I know that we win a livery at the end of this stage, so I wonder what they've got. Ah, so here you go. Now you see why the demo of Monaco that they gave us was using the MP44. Now, if you're not used to this car, I'm going to show you something extremely important. Mine's fully upgraded, that's my own custom livery. Right when this starts, there is something very important you need to do with this car. And that is, go into your settings, turn down your sensitivity. I would turn it down by 3 if I could. I can't because I'm used to 2. I would drop your sensitivity by 3. This car is way more twitchy than the other cars that you've been driving. Like the 2020 and 2019 cars, this car's way more twitchy. So it's a very different car to handle. And I'm supposed to be careful with Ricky, but sorry, his name's actually Richie. It looks like Ricky, but no, it's actually Richie. Sorry, Richie. Actual recording artist, he's the one who's got did a remix of the song, and that's in the game right now. Oh my. I better get better lined up here or Richie's gonna beat me. Oh boy, this is embarrassing. I almost want to restart this race and just erase this, but oh well, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I should have a huge amount of speed here. There we go, look at that car. Oh nuts, I was trying to get an overtake. Oh come on, oh I'm really sorry, I'm destroying that livery. Sorry Richie. Oh my! You're gonna find this car is a lot harder to handle. I've raced this car quite a lot in the past, but I haven't driven it for quite a while now. I drove it for a little bit in my update video, and that took me a few tries because this car just handles so different than the 2019 and 2020 cars. It's a fun car, but it requires a very different approach to driving. One more lap, and I'm leaving Richie in the dust there. Woo-wee! Yeah, well, so some guys ask me if I already own this car, what do I get? Well, you can actually see that when you first go into the Grand Prix area of the 2020 season. If you own this car, it's going to show you that instead of the car, because you can't get it, you get 150 gold and 500,000 M dollars. And then for you guys that don't own the car, it's just going to show you that you'll get this car. You'll get it when you finish all 9 Grand Prix events. So this is going to take us, this update will be a total of 5 that we'll finish. I'm guessing they're going to do 2 in the next update and then 2 in the one after that. That's not official information, that's my guess. It kind of makes sense, you know, but that's my guess. And hey, that wasn't a bad corner. Ooh, I mean, even there you can tell that I would love to have my steering on like -1 or -2, but it's not an option. There we go, that's a nicer corner. And since I have a huge lead, let's just cross the finish line backwards. Where is the finish line? I think I'm early. Oh, I'm way early. Oh well. There you go, there's a better look at my MP44. Okay, that's gonna take us through stage 1. We'll go through the final screens here. I'm going to throw up some other video links. Later on, there's going to be a playlist link once I create it. Thank you for joining me. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, and I will get those other stages up to you as soon as I can.